Well, thank you very much. Last time I was here, I talked about the fact that comics, they always have a tough time with women. Boy, I don't know what it is. We're notoriously bad. I want to tell you about a girlfriend I had a couple of years ago. And we were having a lot of problems, you know. So what we did, we actually asked for help from one of these love-lorn columns. You know those columns in the newspapers where a lot of morons from around the country who can't solve their own problems, they write in and they seek advice from this one central moron? Well, like the best correspondence I ever read, some lady wrote into Ann Landers. She says, "Dear Ann, I don't know what to do. I've been having a torrid love affair with a married man whose wife has been out of the city. Recently, she came back, and I think she suspects something. Every time I go over there now, his wife won't open the door. What should I do?" And Ann wrote back a typical answer. "What's the matter with you? This man is married. Of course his wife won't open the door. You need more help than I can give you. See your clergyman." And the woman wrote back, "I'd like to, but every time I go over there, his wife won't open the door." Anyway, we actually got back this answer, see, and they said what we should do is we should really lay it on the line. I should tell her what I don't like. She should do the same. She went first. She said sometimes I would embarrass her, see, because sometimes I'll put people on. I talk in a dumb guy voice, and it would make her uncomfortable, and I didn't know that. Like, one time we're in this restaurant, and there's this real nervy waiter. Wanted to make sure I knew about the tipping procedure. And he comes over and he says, "Be sure to leave 15 or 20%. "Oh, no, I eat everything on my plate." So then it's my turn, right? Now, I really liked her, but I didn't understand her family. And we went up to visit them and stay overnight in Northern California one time, right? So her sister, believe it or not, they were talking about this. Her sister was a very wealthy lady of the evening. And I knew this even before we went into the house to meet her, because I just read this article that said your car reflects your personality. And I noticed it was this Rolls Royce out in the driveway parked on its back. So I was pretty sure something was going on, right? Had a hunch, right? Okay, so now I get to meet the father, right? Who is like, he's a retired algebra teacher, probably the single most stupid person I have ever met. Boy, oh boy, that guy was dumb to the third power. He was really, and he's one of these guys, he's real religious, which is fine, but he was real pushy about his religion. You know, people like that. As soon as I got in the house, he starts giving me the third degree. "Young man, do you believe in everlasting life?" "Well, yeah, so far." So I figure I'm going to have an argument with the old man, right? So I say, let's don't stay here like we planned, and we went to the Motel 3 across town. And have you ever been to the Motel 3? Very low budget, very low budget. The desk clerk had peanut butter instead of eyebrows. I didn't know what that meant, right? And there's no receipts at the Motel 3. When you give them the money for the room rent, there's no receipts. Instead, the same guy followed me around night and day. "Yeah, he paid. Yeah, he paid. Yeah, he paid." I talked to the guy later. He said he likes to snort dynamite. I'd never heard of that. And the room was terrible, right? We got the room, and there's insects crawling around, and I complained, so they brought in some of this discount insect killer. Did you ever try that? What a jip. What a weak product. Boy. Had to catch the bugs by hand and then dip them in this stuff. Did you ever see that commercial, the one for Raid? "Raid kills bugs dead." That's nice. I hate to see a roach in a coma. Let's all think about that for just a second. So anyway, that was like the fatal night, you know. We split up then, and we got back together just recently, and now her only complaint is I'm a little bit flabby. I've been working on it. I'm on a physical fitness program, and right after the show, I have to go home. I'm doing 25 push-ups, 25 sit-ups, 50 knee bends, and then I go out and I jog 3 miles. And, yeah, either that or take a Valium. I haven't decided. Yeah, I've been on the Valium diet now for about a month and a half. And, no, if you take enough Valium, it will help you lose weight. That's right, that's true. It doesn't really curb your appetite, but most of your food falls on the floor. Hey, you've been real nice. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling
doing
pretty
commercial
good.
already? All right, we'll do this. We'll be right back after this. Good morning, my son. We are back, and we're talking with George Miller. Things are going well with you. I see you here and there, and
see me on TV, on other shows sometimes?
See you on the tube, as they say.
Yeah.
Going well?
Not bad, yeah.
Yeah. Are you folks happy with your success? Do they understand it?
Well, my relatives don't really care. My mom is very happy, but my relatives... I shouldn't say that. A couple of my uncles are very happy, and the rest don't seem to care. They're kind of straight-laced people sometimes, so I have to...
They don't understand the entertainment.
They're coming to the Comedy Store on New Year's Eve to see me, so I'm really cleaning up. You know, I'm getting ready to really... You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you can freewheel down there pretty good and try out.
Yeah, I really do, but I'll kind of watch it. Because,
did you ever... So many guys, when they first started, I've met very few comedians who didn't somewhere do impressions in their act. I don't know why, because it's easy material at first to start with. And everybody does one or two. Did you ever do any? I
didn't really do any. I do kind of, it's like, it's not you, but I do like a takeoff on the end of the show in my act.
This show?
Yeah, but I mean, I can't do you how you talk. So you're very hard to do, right?
It's a Midwestern speech, and Bob Hope is very difficult to do.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody do, even Rich Little or any of the good impressionists, do Bob Hope. There's something in his... They can get the rhythm of the speech, but they can't get the voice exactly.
Yeah, I would think you would be hard to do. What I do is, what I've noticed about your show when I watch it, at the end of the show, it's always the same every night when you're announcing the guests for the next night. The first three guests, everybody in the world knows these three people. The fourth guest, nobody knows, even the person's parents. They don't know. See, but what you do, you very cleverly... give a little tiny description as you say the person's name.
Yeah.
It's always like, tomorrow night we have Mr. Bob Hope, Angie Dickinson, Tony Randall, and Chinese alcoholic Bert Bamboo.
Yes, you're right. Or a curator on the Eurasian pottery, Dr. Philip Kalman thing, yes. Yeah, you kind of have to identify that.
Yeah.
Yeah, most comedians get their material out of what's going on, just observation.
Yeah, right.
Of human behavior, basically, right?
Yeah, any observation I ever tried to do, though, I'd come up with a lot of clever stuff, like, when you pour too much coffee into your cup, it spills out over the edge, and the people just didn't seem to think that was that clever. So I stopped doing any of that. It's just jokes from now on.
You really have to have a little material.
Yeah, that's right.
You see, they bought it also.
Yeah, they're
Did you ever have a cup of coffee? And I don't know where you go with this routine, but it happens to everybody. Or coffee, or whatever it is, and you're walking and you have to sneeze. And the trick is to get that coffee or something to a table before you sneeze. Now, I don't know where you go with that either. That's another one of those observations.
Same thing.
When you were 10 years old, did you ever want to grow up and get married? Still want to try that question. We'll do this. We'll be right back. After a word from your local station.
My next guest has a rather odd and unique